Grab your biggest mug of tea and maybe a calming biscuit, neighbors, because we need to sit down and talk about the absolute circus that has apparently touched down in Santa Monica. Just when you think the ego has landed, just when you think the pretension couldn't possibly get any thicker than the smog over Los Angeles, we get a story that is so delightfully, horrifyingly on brand for the Duchess of Deception that it almost feels scripted. But knowing her, it probably was. We are hearing reports, viral, exploding reports, that Meghan Markle, the woman who preaches kindness while ghosting her entire family, has finally snapped. And what triggered this meltdown? Was it a global crisis? Was it a charity emergency? No. It was because a barista at Starbucks didn't address her as the Duchess of Sussex. I wish I was joking. I really do. But this is the world we live in now, where a woman who abandoned the monarchy demands the royal treatment while waiting for a oat milk latte. Now, I know you guys are excited for more. But before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, come on guys, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now, new viral reports are exploding online, and they claim Meghan Markle snapped after not being addressed as the Duchess of Sussex at a local Starbucks. While these claims come from unverified tabloid-style sources, the internet is already in a frenzy because, let's be honest, it sounds exactly like something she would do. We all know the narrative she's trying to spin. She wants us to believe she's this down-to-earth, ripped jeans and barefoot California girl who eats Jack in the Box and loves a casual drive-through moment. But then you hear stories like this and the mask slips. It slips all the way off and shatters on the floor. It's so funny, too, that she keeps saying Meghan Markle, but then corrects people with, I'm Sussex now. It is the ultimate identity crisis of a woman who hates the institution, but is absolutely obsessed with the shiny label it gave her. The coffee shop was buzzing like any other Monday morning in Los Angeles, innocent people just trying to get their caffeine fix before facing the traffic. But inside, a storm was quietly brewing, one that would soon make headlines around the world. Sources tell us that Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, or as I like to call her, the Duchess of Delusion, erupted in fury over something most of us would consider trivial, her royal title. But as insiders reveal, and as we have suspected for years, this wasn't just about a name. It was about control. It was about perception. It was about a relentless, bottomless need to be recognized everywhere she goes. She is having her formal titles, the Duchess of Sussex, announced by her staff like she's entering a state banquet, not a coffee shop. According to staff and onlookers, Meghan reportedly stormed into a popular Starbucks in Santa Monica, demanding that her order be taken with full recognition of her status. Can you imagine the scene? You're standing there waiting for your cappuccino, and in walks the evil mastermind herself, sunglasses on, probably trailed by a security team big enough to guard the Pentagon, insisting very firmly that she be addressed as Duchess of Sussex. A barista told our sources, normally we just take names for the order, but she wanted everyone to know exactly who she is. And it wasn't a polite mention. It wasn't a, oh, you can just put Duchess. It was a demand. It was a command. The scene quickly spiraled into chaos, with murmurs of disbelief and whispers of astonishment traveling from the counter to every corner of the cafe. Patrons pulled out their phones, capturing snippets of the moment because you have to see it to believe it. Meghan, composed yet visibly tense, asserting a title that she insists should follow her everywhere, even in a casual coffee run. Observers describe her demeanor as icy but unwavering, her eyes flashing with a kind of intensity that suggested this wasn't about caffeine. It was about principle. It was about the fact that without that title, without that Duchess attached to her name, she is just another actress in LA looking for a gig. And that terrifies her. The Telegraph called it an exercise in narcissism, with Meghan using the show to repeatedly push her line of posh products. And they are spot on. This is Meghan Markle, a woman whose life has long been a careful balancing act between Hollywood glamour and royal protocol. But she fails at both, because she doesn't understand the heart of either. According to sources, the Starbucks incident marks a new chapter, A moment when private entitlement collided head-on with public spaces, leaving baristas, bystanders, and social media users scrambling to process what they were witnessing. It was surreal, one patron admitted. One moment it was just coffee orders, and the next it felt like we were witnessing a royal proclamation. For Meghan, insistence on her title isn't a fleeting whim. It's part of a broader pattern that insiders say has been building for months. Reports suggest that wherever she goes, from casual outings to high-profile events, she expects acknowledgement of her royal status. She wants the bows, she wants the curtsies, she wants the deference, but she doesn't want the duty. She doesn't want the rainy days in Hull opening a community center. She wants the title to be a brand, a logo, a sticker she can slap on everything to increase its value. Friends and aides, if she has any left who aren't on the payroll, say that this desire isn't just about prestige. It's about asserting her influence, maintaining visibility, and reinforcing the narrative that she is in every space a Duchess first. Legal and royal experts alike are fascinated by the audacity. While royal titles in the United Kingdom are courtesy designations granted to spouses by virtue of marriage, they are not formal honors with enforceable privileges outside official capacities, especially not in a Starbucks in California. But Meghan's team reportedly believes that public acknowledgement, even in mundane contexts like a coffee shop, reinforces her brand. It reinforces her personal authority and her family's legacy. It's strategic, but it's also incredibly sad. One consultant familiar with the situation explained, "It's a calculated move to ensure that the Duchess of Sussex isn't relegated to private life or background roles. Every interaction is a stage, and she insists on playing her part to the fullest." And where is Harry in all of this? Where is the brainwashed favorite royal lapdog puppet? He's probably standing in the corner holding her purse, looking confused, wondering why everyone is staring. It is tragic to see how far he has fallen. This is a man who was born a prince of the blood, a man who used to command respect just by walking into a room because he was Harry, the war hero, the fun royal. Now he's just the plus one to a woman who screams at service workers about her title. He has traded the dignity of the House of Windsor for the chaos of the House of Montecito, and you can see the regret written all over his face every time he steps out in public. He's not a partner, he's a prop. The Starbucks episode quickly went viral as expected. Social media lit up with clips, screenshots, and eyewitness accounts, sparking a global debate about entitlement, celebrity, and royal influence. Hashtags like Duchess Drama and Meghan Demands trended across platforms within hours, with millions weighing in. Some were incredulous, others downright scathing. Commentators noted that few public figures managed to turn a mundane coffee run into an international story. But Meghan Markle seems to have perfected this form of high-stakes visibility. Yet, behind the viral moments, sources indicate there was intense preparation. This isn't spontaneous, neighbors. Nothing with her is ever spontaneous. Every move is curated. Even something as simple as ordering a latte can be transformed into a spectacle if framed correctly. Meghan knows how to control the narrative, and she thrives on it. The reaction from royal watchers has been predictably explosive, and rightfully so. Analysts across London, New York, and Los Angeles have dissected the incident, debating whether Meghan's insistence on using her title in everyday life reflects a broader strategy or a dangerous overreach. I say it's dangerous overreach. It risks trivializing royal protocol and alienating the monarchy even further. Titles exist within the confines of official duties. Outside of those contexts, insisting on recognition is a social choice, not a legal right. But in Meghan's case, the optics are everything. The impact on Starbucks staff and patrons cannot be understated. Employees reportedly felt caught between politeness and compliance, uncertain how to navigate a high-profile guest who demanded ceremonial recognition. "We want to be respectful," said one barista, "but it's not every day someone expects us to address them like royalty in line for a caramel macchiato." Compare this, if you will, to the grace and humility of our beloved Princess of Wales, Catherine. Can you imagine Catherine walking into a shop and demanding to be called Her Royal Highness? Absolutely not. She uses her name. She chats with people. She treats everyone with dignity, from the King of England to the person serving her tea. That is true royalty. That is class. That is why the audience loves Kate and William. They don't need to scream about their titles because their aura commands respect naturally. Meghan has to scream because deep down, she knows she's an imposter in that world. She's playing a role, and she's overacting. Observers note a broader cultural tension here as well. Meghan's insistence highlights the clash between American celebrity culture and British royal tradition. In the US, public recognition is currency. Acknowledgement can translate into influence, contracts, and opportunities. Across the Atlantic, royal titles are formal, contextual, and bounded by centuries of protocol. Meghan straddles both worlds, and incidents like the Starbucks confrontation reveal how these two cultural logics collide, often explosively. She wants the American freedom with the British hierarchy, and it just doesn't work. You can't have your cake and eat it too, especially when you're demanding the baker call you Duchess while he frosts it. The fallout has been immediate and widespread. Tabloids in London ran front-page spreads with bold headlines: Duchess demands Starbucks standoff and royal tantrum over latte. Social media users debated etiquette, entitlement, and Meghan's motivations. In Montecito, sources suggest Meghan reportedly debriefed her team after the incident, reviewing every video, every post, and every reaction. The goal? To ensure that public perception aligns with her narrative that she is a duchess entitled to acknowledgement. She is obsessed with control. One insider admitted, every detail matters and nothing is left to chance. That includes your coffee order. And let's talk about that archiving comment that surfaced recently too. She claims she has to archive her clothes because she is royalty? I don't know what the hell that means, as the prompt said, but that's what she said. It shows the level of delusion we are dealing with. She thinks she is creating a museum of herself. She thinks her yoga pants and her beige sweaters are historical artifacts. It is vanity fueled by an ego that has no brakes. For the monarchy, the incident is a subtle headache. Palace aides have reportedly monitored the story closely, aware that viral moments like these, while seemingly minor, can have outsized influence on public perception of the royal family. It makes the whole institution look silly by association. King Charles and Prince William are out there doing the real work, tackling homelessness, fighting for the environment, supporting the nation, and here is Meghan, dragging the family name through the espresso grounds. It is disrespectful. It is tacky. And it is exactly why they're never allowed back on that balcony. As the sun set over Santa Monica, one fact was clear. Meghan Markle's demand to be recognized as the Duchess of Sussex, even in the smallest corners of everyday life, has created ripples far beyond the coffee shop walls. That was her alleged reason for going away with the clothes from her variety shoot, archiving them for history. In a world where perception is reality and visibility is power, she has once again ensured that her name and her title are front and center, sparking global conversation, controversy, and fascination that shows no sign of fading. But it's the wrong kind of fascination. It's the fascination of watching a train wreck. Inside Meghan's inner circle, the atmosphere was anything but calm. Advisors reportedly debated whether to release a statement. Some argued that emphasizing her rightful title would reinforce her authority. Others feared that doubling down would make the narrative seem aggressive and entitled. Well, newsflash, it does seem aggressive and entitled because it is. You are a former cable actress who married a prince and then quit the job. You are not the Queen of Sheba. The barista who had first served Meghan described the moment as surreal in interviews. We've had celebrities before, she said. But this was different. There was a gravity to it, like she was laying claim to something beyond the coffee. That gravity is the weight of her own ego. It's the weight of a woman who is desperate to prove she matters. So neighbors, what do we make of this? It's a case study in how not to behave. It's a lesson in humility, or the lack thereof. It's a reminder that money can buy you a mansion in Montecito, it can buy you PR teams and bots, but it cannot buy you class. It cannot buy you the genuine love and respect that Catherine and William have earned through years of quiet service. Meghan can demand to be called Duchess until she is blue in the face, but to us, she will always be the Z-lister who let the mask slip over a cup of coffee. This has been your friendly neighbor critic, sipping my tea, which I made myself, without demanding anyone call me Your Highness. What do you think? If you were that barista, would you have written Duchess on the cup, or would you have accidentally misspelled it? Let me know in the comments below. Let's keep it real. Let's support the working royals who actually deserve our respect. And let's never forget that true nobility is in how you treat people, not in what you force them to call you. Stay safe, stay sane, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta, and bye for now.